Hi and good evening, everyone. My name is Albert, and this is Vlogs About Nothing. Thank you very much for taking the time out of your very busy Tuesday to join me. I really appreciate it. The Associated Press 5 hours ago, according to my source, and link in the description below if you want to obviously check out what I'm saying, because here on Vlogs About Nothing, it's real important that you check, your sources. This much I know. Whether or not you disagree with them or whatever is like kind of your thing, you feel me? But as it would be, tampons contain toxic metals like and chemicals, high levels of lead and high levels of other toxic chemicals. For example, lead and arsenic. Okay, so if I haven't already, thank you very much for taking the time out of your day to join me. To all the new subs and viewers, I really appreciate you being a part of the channel. It means a whole lot. And, every day is a better day for the channel and for myself and the growth and everything. So it's pretty cool. And I spend half of all these videos thanking everybody, and it's well worth the time because I truly appreciate y'all. Tonight, I want to talk about how recently toxic chemicals have been found in very high levels, like across the whole industry of tampons. And so, okay, to be more precise, organic tampons are proving to have less lead and more arsenic, while non organic tampons are proving to have higher lead and less arsenic. And it's a problem. It's such a problem that even medical professionals are fraying away from making any sort of medical recommendation because sort of there's that thing called, common sense and just treating people well. And why wouldn't it be upsetting to, learn that in a world sort of loosely controlled by men in this weird kind of sort of way of defining class or sex, in that regard, it's just odd that, tampons of all things have high levels of toxic chemicals in them because like what a slight, like that should be one product that definitely can contain no levels of toxic anything. Sort of just how, it's equally as frustrating to find out that high levels of other kinds of toxic metals are found in baby food. Like seriously, like, we're feeding our babies like toxic metals while we're also, selling our female constituents products that are literally like super harmful to them. That's just, it's all nonsense. It's all silly talk. It's not okay, obviously. And the cool thing, at least, about the study coming out is that now we can talk about it, right? Talking about it's the first step to ultimately getting to a solution, as tough as the talks might be. And again, I'm just a dude, who has clearly advocated for women rights in that, like, in whatever way I can as a dude, as far as like um, fair pay and, not making laws that tell women what they can or can't do about their bodies. I think that it's just a huge insult to all women everywhere to read some of the findings that this new study has provided to the public. Again, 14 major brands were tested. None of the brands it was a blind experiment, so none of the brands are identified in the study, which is like kind of the opposite of studies, but again, at least we're getting half of the truth in that we now know that throughout the United States and Europe, at least 14 different major brands, brands that sell on both continents, are contain super high levels of both lead and arsenic. Now, it's ubiquitous to say that low levels of toxic anything lead to long term problems with health. I'm not a doctor. Let's just throw that out there right away. You feel me? Obviously. But just seriously, just humor me. So it's sort of like I just think that this study is indicative of long-term problems. Just because there's not any evidence to suggest medically that short-term exposure, you know, internally is sort of any kind of sign that there'll be any major damage later on down the road. However, tampons are something that women use. Last time I checked, a few times a month or something. I don't know about the number or whatever, but I know that like in health class they taught me about like periods and stuff, and like real talk, it's just this is a product that's used regularly by women. It's not and for decades. Sometimes it's not a product that a woman uses one time and just doesn't use again, right? So the argument of that, I think, is false. And it's interesting and sort of coincidental, right? Obviously, in the interest of big business, to not have any long term data to support anything other than, we don't know, plausible deniability. I mean, at some point, it's just ridiculous, grown adults sort of causing these scenes, these melodramatic scenes in life, all of which just sort of places the blame on somebody else. Nobody ever wants to take responsibility for their actions, despite what they told us in school, guys. Take responsibility for your actions. So again, I'm interested to see what the response is from major tampon manufacturers and everything. And obviously, I know that tomorrow there'll be a highlighted thread from Twitter about some exec saying, as it would be the equivalent of a modern day press release in a thread on Twitter about how the safety and is a top priority and is their only concern for all of their customers, and that they'll do better. What a cop out. Like, it's just, yeah, we can all be better. We can all do better. It's just, I mean, are you going to be, or are you going to do it, And oftentimes the answer with these big companies is not. I mean, again, just consider the fact that the study was conducted with both organic and non-organic tampons. So there you go. It's like there's literally no win in that scenario. So thanks, Big Pharma, for again making one of the worst decisions in modern day human history as it concerns specifically women's hygiene and their overall long term health. It's repulsive. I think it's a terrible thing, and at least we have the study to look back on now and change our behavior moving forward. So, sorry about the bad news, ladies, but I can't make this stuff up, and the news just broke like literally just hours ago. So, I thought it was interesting, and I wanted to talk about it. So, have a good night, everyone. Bye.